Hello and welcome to today's review of the Transformers Studio Series 86 Deluxe Class Bumblebee. And man, first impressions, looks solid, feels solid. He's got a bit of the wibbly factor, but you know, some figures do, can't win them all. And yeah, visually he's an all-round appealing guy, nice yellow. Sure, it's different shades, but it's a common Hasbro problem with various colours at this point. I've seen it with red on a Studio Series 86 Ironhide. I've seen a bunch of issues with grey and yellow, where they're yellowing constantly. I've seen issues with this and Earthrise Sunstreaker, where the yellows are just different between different parts of the toy. But you know, overall, visually appealing, looks like the character. And let's just move straight on to articulation. So, for articulation, he's fairly simple. He doesn't do anything spectacular. You get what you pay for in this case. You know, you get a small little bot that moves somewhat. You've got these 90-degree elbows that click in. You've got a full swivel at the shoulder. A full swivel at the bicep. Full swivel at the wrist. His waist rotates a full 360. He's got a two-sided joint at the knees, so he can bend backwards at a 90. You bend forwards at a 90. Then you see that he's got a 5 swivel on a mushroom peg. That could do the full 360. Could come off. He's also got an ankle tilt, but due to the way the feet are designed, the ankle tilt's weirdly high up. This is symmetrical across both sides, and lastly we have the head. The head is on a ball joint, swivels all the way around, and it's also on this little arm, so it can go forward that much. And if we open the chest and move the back assembly back, there is no hope for it to go upwards. Which sucks, but Bumblebee's never going to be a character in a flight pose, so you're probably fine. Now, as for accessories, I'll quickly cover that. He just comes with a gun. Nothing too special. Tabs into this port on the back of the vehicle mode. And yeah, that's all she wrote. For a size comparison, we're going to compare him to a bunch of different Bumblebees from over the last God knows how many years. You've got the 2006 Classics Bumblebee. This was also a deluxe class, retailed for significantly cheaper. As you can see, he's fairly bigger. But all of the Transformers sized classes have gotten smaller. We have the deluxe class Dark of the Moon Bumblebee from 2011. Same thing here, you know, even though it's a movie design and not the G1, he's still significantly larger. And then we have the KBB Toys Bumblebee. This is I guess a legend scale Bumblebee. I think it's a 4th party care of some sort. I'm not too sure. He only cost me a tenner. And this is where my main gripe with this Bumblebee comes in. He was £25, which is a modern deluxe price. I believe I got him for full price. Might have got him for just a little bit less, but regardless, he's still expensive for his size. KBB Bumblebee, on the other hand, is less than half the price. You can go on AliExpress, still find him. Beautiful little guy. I painted the eyes on mine. Applied Autobot stickers. And he does almost everything identically to the Studio Series 86 figure for a fraction of the price, and the vehicle mode is just as good. So this is what I'd recommend over this Bumblebee. You know, I'm not even going to beat around the bush. 86 Bumblebee, he's not a bad toy at all, but I just don't feel the necessity to buy one if you're okay with this, you know. And if you've already got this, don't spend the extra money. It might not be worth it in the long run. So next up, we're going to be moving on to the transformation. And for the vehicle mode, we have this lovely little squish penny racer. It's fairly resemblant of what Bumblebee transformed into during the whole G1 show. And yeah, it's pretty accurate, minus the fact that I think the roof isn't rounded enough. But you know, you can't win them all. There's a group of people that complain about the fact that this doesn't turn into a Volkswagen, but he never did, not in G1, it wasn't licensed or anything, so I don't think there's a valid complaint to be made. For the vehicle mode comparison, we have RID 2001 Sideburn and Deluxe Class Trailbreaker from Revealed It. And for the vehicle size comparison, we have RID 2001 Sideburn and Revealed a Shield Legends Class Trailbreaker. Lovely to see that Bumblebee's a decent middle ground between the two, even though he's significantly more expensive than both. If you want my honest opinion, Sideburn's the better toy. I don't care if it's a bit of a labyrinth to transform, and the price I paid for him was significantly less than Bumblebee. What he retailed for when he came out years and years ago was significantly less than Bumblebee. So I think, you know, Sideburn has Bumblebee beat in a number of categories, but that's not what this video is about. Anyway, moving on to our next topic. So, final thoughts on this guy. The aesthetics, 3 out of 5. Looks just like the character. Has a head that's probably reused from the Origins Bumblebee, but I can't dispute that, it still looks good. It's also, there's a lot of shared engineering between this and the Authorized Cliffjumper mod. Basically every joint works almost the same. The only improvements this really makes is having a backpack piece that's attached and doesn't come off, so he's not a parts former. But Cliffjumper was cheaper and came with more accessories, so I'm not really sure whether this guy looking as nice as he does is much of a trade-off, you know, at least a positive trade-off. He definitely doesn't kind of square it to other figures that you can get for £25. So transformation, solid 4 out of 5. The Authorized Cliffjumper mold already had a good transformation. This is slightly better than that, but it's not perfect, you know. I don't like the Play-Doh factor with compressing the legs into the front part of the vehicle. It's not fun, and it's still solid regardless. You know, I'm not gonna say it's a 1 out of 5 just for one little step that I don't like. It's definitely a solid 4. Articulation is really boring. He doesn't do anything special. He's got weird ankle tilts. The head movement is terrible. But he's solid, you know. He moves how most Transformers do. His class or not, you know, he's a solid 3. The value for money on this one is definitely a point of contention between me and other people. It's a 3 out of 5, you know. He's not terrible for how much you pay. As a deluxe class, he's solid. You know, you could actually pick this one up and just play around with him. But it's not perfect, considering the fact that all of the engineering is shared between this and an older toy that was cheaper. And things like the paint mismatch. I'd really hope something like this, like roof section, didn't happen, you know. There's no reason why they couldn't have just cast it and use inserts, considering the fact they'd save money on the engineering for this toy. So overall, I'm going to give them a 3 out of 5. He's nothing offensive. He's just very average, you know. He's a little bit boring visually. I don't care if he's my favourite colour. The toy just isn't amazing by itself. And if we're comparing other Bumblebees to this, I don't recommend Classics Bumblebee either. He just doesn't hold up. As beautiful as the transformation is, it's a very fun process, but still definitely not perfect. Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. If you are G1 Bumblebee, don't buy that one, obviously. And then KBB Bumblebee, just go for it. You know, if you want a small Bumblebee that will fit moderately well with your chug shelf, this is the one to go for. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.